Dumelang, bagaetsho, I'm Tinti. Welcome to Time with T, and thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. There are 5 things that I will always talk about: gender-based violence, literature, performing arts, agenda, and myself. Today, I would like to speak a little bit about education first. Let's start there. But before we begin, please allow me to speak about my last video when we spoke about finding your calling and using it as a solution to the problems that we have in our society and with all the social ills that we have. And also the 2 people that I had spoken about had made peace. O tla sala makeng a re tsweng 8 mo dikganyeng tsa batho but le tshwarelana e be re na re sala makeng. But I think the biggest lesson that we can take away from this is that at what cost? You know, that is the question. At what cost? Some people will say whatever they want to say to you and about you, and then you will either forgive them or not forgive them. But at what cost? What did that cost you? To stay mad, or the embarrassment, or the humiliation, or the pain? What did it cost you? And then what is forgiving costing you, and what is not forgiving costing you? If you can answer that question, then you have unlocked a life hack for yourself. At what cost? Because it's something that I always ask myself before I decide or commit to something. I always ask myself, at what cost? So in regards to that, the question on the floor: at what cost? Now let's move on and talk about what is happening today. This week, it's a big week in our country, in South Africa. Dikolo diabula. Today is actually the first day of school, and I did the first day of school thing with my son, and he starts high school today, and the nerves are all the same when you look at your kids and you see how much they grow right in front of you, and you worry about them. You want to protect them from the world, and they worry about themselves, and they worry about the world, and they worry about their peers. And I really want to speak about, in as much as a lot of parents make decisions for their kids, I will say that the best thing you can do for your child is do what's best for your child. We can't romanticize education, and we can't want to glamorize education. We can't want to do everything for aesthetics. You know, some people take their kids to certain schools because they look good. It's going to look good on pictures. It's going to sound good when you are together with your peers and you tell them, oh, my child goes to so-and-so school. Again, at what cost? Look at it this way, and that is why the Department of Education always stresses the fact that they always prioritize children who are nearer, who reside near the school, for these reasons. Imagine if your child, if school starts, let's say 7:30, your child has to leave the house at 5 a.m. because they live far from school, because you want nice pictures, or you want nice this, or you want nice that. Yes, it's you want great education for your child, but let's look at this. By the time school says 2:30, they get home at 5. They have tons and tons of homework. They don't have time for anything else. But then one can argue that's the whole point. That a child must only be focused on school and nothing else. Keep them busy, keep them occupied. Your child gets to school tired, your child gets home tired. They have no time to excel. One might also argue that if the child lives near the school, they still have ample time to get into a lot of trouble. Be that as it may, spending less time on the road is never a bad idea. Never. For anyone. Spending less time on the road is never, ever, 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 ever a bad idea. Having few more hours to yourself is never, ever, 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 ever a bad idea. But then let's move on from there. I want us to speak about how we equip our kids to navigate through the education system. The curriculum, they have it all covered. Rena as parents, what are we doing? And as much as some subjects, and our kids get frustrated, we get frustrated, and then what? find an outlet for your child. Find a creative outlet for your child. I can't stress this enough. You also have to remember that, and as much as we romanticize education and we glamorize, and we all want our kids to go to traditional universities and stuff like that, some of us are really raising creatives. Some of us are raising handymen. Different kids that we have are going to explore into different things in the world. So let's open the world up for them. Not every single one of our children are going to go to Wits. Not every one of them is going to go to UJ, so let's open them up right now. A creative outlet is a release for your child. And of course, I'm an advocate for the arts. I'm going to say Saturday and Sunday, sign your kids up for classes. Sign your kids up for creative writing classes, music classes, dance classes, anything that will enable them to have an outlet. Attracted or enjoying creative arts or performing arts. Even the most timid of kids will enjoy art. That is how they will get to express themselves. That is how they will get to communicate. That is how they will also get to know themselves. They will get to know who they are. Because one thing about school, the main reason that school is so challenging is because every child suffers from something koskolo. A child can come from a well-balanced nuclear family, a nice home setup, nice everything. But trust me, every child will struggle with something koskolong. Think about it as when you were a child. If you recognize your struggles and recognize why you were struggling from that something, what was the cause, and then once you can find that and be honest with yourself, you will then be able to be closer to identify what your child is struggling with, because there is no child under the sun who is not struggling from something. And a lot of parents are in denial. They be like, no, as a parent, you're lucky to have a child who's able to communicate every single thing that they're going through honestly. So you're very lucky. I will even say it like it's pure luck. Kids don't communicate well. Kids edit the truth quite a lot. Kids are creative with what is going on with them when it comes to sharing. So as a parent, it's your job to know you can have the most confident and most outspoken child at home, but they disappear. The high school any type of school actually, like social standings, being out there in the world is embarrassing, guys. Is embarrassing, is intimidating, it's challenging. It forces you to literally get out of your shell. And even people who have big personalities, who are out there, really do struggle from something. So identify what your child is struggling with and find a solution so that we can raise well-balanced adults. And this is where art comes in. Art for me will always be the solution. If your child can have an outlet, if your child can be able to express themselves and really find something that they are truly attracted to, because again, there is no child under the sun that's attracted to school. Let's face it. They learn to love it because it's something that they have to do. And some excel in it because they have the ability to grasp the information as quicker than others. No child is attracted to school. So let's make school attractive. Let's bargain. Let's make art and creative stuff and extramural activities bargaining chips. If you tell your child that you go to school, you commit to school, you do this and do this and do that Monday to Friday, on Saturday you have something else to look forward to, or on Sunday you have something else to look forward to. There are so many things that we can do to make sure that our kids are focused in school, but they're also having a good time. They are enjoying it and they are learning, and their marks will improve, not because the department has lowered some things or has adjusted some things, but really truly because your child is exercising their full potential academically and intellectually. So we offer, again, this is where I'm going to talk about agenda. For agenda, we offer all these services: music lessons, dance lessons, poetry, modeling, my most favorites, debate teams and spelling bees, girl guides and boy scouts. For more information, get in touch with me. And then we found out where you're located, and then we custom design a program that is suitable for your child, so that they can also learn the skill of community, the skill of fellowship, the skill of sharing, of being a part of a team or being a team leader. These are the skills that our kids rarely learn in schools. And let's face it, also, not everyone has an athletic kid. Not every child is going to excel in netball or soccer or athletics or this and this and that. You have to get to know your child. And if you are in a position where you don't know what your child is interested in, or you don't have the know-how, you have no way of knowing how to figure out what your child needs, again, do get in touch with me. We have programs and ways of finding out what it is that your child likes. So as a parent, mmereko wa motswadi ga o fele, motswadi ga chaise, mmereko wa motswadi ga o fele, motswadi ga chaise. It is our job, it is our duty to make sure constantly that we are steering our kids at the right direction. Know what frustrates your kids. Know what makes your kids happy. Keep the balance. Know what they're interested in. Know what they want to do, so that you can always keep the balance. You can't imagine that if your child is really having a difficult time go skolong and they're not even doing well, got anything, even socially they're not doing well, and then they have to deal with that 5 days out of the week. And then for the 2 days they are sitting at home, they are on the phones. And I know there are a lot of parents who also advocate for give your child more screen time. I get it, but listen, when your child is sitting down watching their phone, they are literally watching people do stuff. The goal is to get your child to do stuff, not just watch people do stuff, not just watch people create. The goal is to get your child to be the one that creates something. And it doesn't even have to be anything big. It just has to be something that stimulates them in every single way that needs stimulation. So my plea is that if you have a school-going child, get in touch with them. By getting in touch, I'm not saying text your kids. Talk to them. Find out what it is that they're struggling with. Find out what it is that they're enjoying. Find out what they want to do, what they hate, what they don't want to do anymore. Just get to know your child. Now let's speak about safety measures. We've spoken about the holidays. We've spoken about keeping your kids safe, always alerting and checking on your kid. Now, especially don't write Lina langwana mo school begin mo le bonang ke mang le mang, because then a stranger can still call them by their name and they will respond. Rather for your kids to know which is their property. Have a hidden place, a special place. Only you and them know how to identify their stuff. Have a sign, something that is unique to the both of you, to all of you personally, that nobody's gonna know about. When it comes to having kids picked up, because we are hearing a lot about these cases, or as a stranger will go and pick up your child and say your mom sent you, like mama ga go tebo go dinti all over go stay theater wa conversations with the author unthumile gore ke tlo go lata go skolo. And I said this to my kids, if should that ever happen, because you never know, should that ever happen, what's the password? I will never send somebody to come fetch you without a password. What's the password? and that password stays between me and them. Only us know. No one else will ever, like, you can't even, it's something that you can't even figure out, but something so easy between me and them. Or do the same. If always have emergency contacts. If your kids need to get a hold of you and for some reason they can't, there has to be a backup. There has to be, like, as parents, we have to be so careful and so in touch and so tuned in that we protect our kids the way that only us can protect our kids. I always teach my kids, always have emergency money. You never know when you might need to make your way out of any situation. Always have emergency money. Know your password. I will never send anybody to come fetch you. Your properties, to identify your properties, there are things that only you and I will know. Somebody will say, I picked up a bag, it didn't have a name on it. You can easily say, open on the left pocket and tell me if you don't find something like this. You know, that's how you know. Like, those are the things that as parents we need to do. Now, I alluded a little bit about conversations with the author. We do have conversations with the author coming up, and we are doing something very special. We are bringing two authors. It's a double bill. We are bringing Unkabetse Masabe for daddy issues, and then Mushidadi for the girl who survived her mother. For the very first time in the history of conversations with the author, we are going to be talking about a topic that is well balanced. We are going to talk about the mommy and the daddy wounds. We are going to have two authors that are tackling this issue at length, and we are going to have a full wholesome conversation. And for the first conversation of the year to be this one, we are really just focusing on healing a lot of us, on healing our inner wounds, our inner kids, on healing us as parents. We are focusing on doing the work that consciously our society needs. We are very intentional about facilitating conversations that are not easily had around the dinner tables at home. We are creating safe spaces where we can all come together and say, hey, my wound looks like this, and somebody will say, hey, it looks like mine too, except mine has a pink ribbon on it. And then we all sit down and fellowship and talk about it and heal as a nation. I'm a firm believer of nobody can do it alone. We all need somebody. We all need a little help. I know for sure, as a person, as a black woman in South Africa who has severe daddy issues, and as a black woman in South Africa who is currently surviving her mother, I need this conversation, and I need to know that I'm not alone, and I need to know that other people who are going through the same, I need for them to know that they're not alone. Skalas Banning. So please do make your way to the South African State Theatre on the 25th of January. Gomalombo Theatre, where I will be in conversations with two incredible authors about two subjects that are urgent that we cover. And what I am reading for Book Nook is A New Earth. I'm reading A New Earth because Oprah says it's time to read A New Earth. I'm reading it for Book Nook. If you would like to join me for that, please do get in touch with me. And then Rokopanagari, the last day of the month. Yeah. Rakopana online. Book Nook is an online book club, so you can meet with us from anywhere in the world. Just get in touch so you get a link to when we get to meet up. What I'm reading for fun, A Little Life. I don't even know if I can say it's for fun because, yeah, but TikTok made me do it. BookTok made me do it. Bookstagram made me do it. So I saw a lot of people talking about it and I had FOMO, so I was like, let me do it. So get your kids to read. Get your kids to be out there. Remember, sign them up. Go Agenda. We have all kinds of programs that are going to be custom made for the needs of the kids. For more information, do get in touch with me. Thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. A big congratulations to all who made it, matriculants who made it. They are now starting the world. Adulting is where it begins. And to all the kids that are studying big school for the first time this year, you are in for an experience of a lifetime. To kids who are studying high school for the first time this year, you are in for the ride of your lives. For kids who are in matric this year, good luck. This has to be the year that you work the hardest. So I wish every single scholar in our country all the best, and I wish that everybody finds a perfect outlet for whatever it is that they are going through. I am signing out for now. I will see you next time on Time with T. I'm out for now. Love and light.